it's an enigma to me, because you see on one side every international humanitarian organization saying what's going on in Gaza is a horror, a genocide, and so forth. And on the other side, you have Israel, backed by the United States, able to defy the whole of world opinion and all the institutional representatives or representations of the humanitarian community. The capacity to simply ignore and continue on its path. There was one moment when the ICJ issued its what's called provisional measures in the end of March, March 28th. Israel was forced to allow some humanitarian aid to northern Gaza. But then come May, until now, right as we speak, it unleashes its genocidal machine again. If you were to ask me what Israel's goal is now, I would say at the beginning, it was not a genocide. The objective was pretty straightforward. They wanted to expel the entire population of Gaza in the Egyptian Sinai. But the head of state of Egypt, Sisi, he vetoed that idea, and the United States seems to have agreed that we're not going to tolerate an ethnic cleansing into into the Sinai. At that point, the goal of Israel shifted, and the goal was, it was a combination of two things, an alloy of two things. First, there was an outright genocidal aspect to it. The statements by Prime Minister Netanyahu to treat the people of Gaza as you treat Amalek, to kill every man, woman, and child, as it's said in the Bible about Amalek, to revenge by killing every man, woman, and child. There was that aspect. And there was the second aspect. And the second aspect is to make Gaza unlivable, uninhabitable. And I would say between the two, the primary goal, even though the killing every man, woman, and child still lurks there, the most recent doctors who went over to Gaza, they report that many children come in with bullet wounds to the head, single bullet wounds to the head. So when you're targeting children with bullet wounds, with bullets aimed at their skull, we're talking about certainly a genocidal mentality. But I would say the primary goal is to make Gaza uninhabitable. As the former head of Israel's National Security Council, Giora Eiland, he said, we're going to give the people of Gaza two choices, to stay and to starve or to leave. And that's basically what they're doing. And in my view, they've succeeded. Gaza is no more. The last estimate I read was there's 50 million tons of rubble in Gaza, and it would take between 10 and 15 years just to clear out the rubble. We're not talking about rebuilding, because you have to remember that there's a lot of unexploded ordnance in the rubble. There are a lot of deadly chemicals that have been released in the rubble, the asbestos, and it would take just 10 to 15 years. Gaza's gone. Gaza is no more. So their goal, in my opinion, that goal has been achieved.